and there is just a little time left to check out an out-of-the-box theatrics production called See What I Want to See. It's an off-Broadway show with 3 storied characters that leave it to the audience to figure out what's going on, find the truth out. So here with us is one of those cast members.
Yeah, she's toured in productions of The King and I, Frozen, and Company. And on Broadway, she was part of the cast K-pop. So please welcome Marina Kondo. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Morning.
So explain the show to us, because See What I Want to See puts the audience in the driver's seat, because they can decide what happens. So explain that exactly.
Totally. Well, it's based on 3 short stories by Ryonosuke Akutagawa. They're separate short stories that are tied into one by Michael John LaCuisha's adaptation. And we go through these 3 stories with the a through line of what the truth is, which seems like a very relevant topic, especially today.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much away, but the first one involves a murder, the first storyline, right?
Yes.
And so I guess and you go through each one of the scenarios. I saw it this weekend, by the way. It was fantastic. So do you all see something different? Like, if you were to take yourself out of the acting role and into the audience, do you all interpret it differently?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I like to believe that my story is the truth. Yeah. And I think all of us each hold that truth within us as well. And I think that's the point, is that like we all have an internalized different story, which is what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah, and the cast is all AAPI.
Yes.
Which I think is wonderful.
It really is.
How do you feel about that and having representation?
I mean, it means everything to me. We fight for representation all the time in our industry, and we often represent the token in each show frequently. And so for all of us to come together as one group is so meaningful, because we get to celebrate each other and our accomplishments, and we are frequently representing our own cultures, whether we like it or not. And so I think we vibrate in a higher frequency because of that kind of expectation for ourselves, for our group of people. Yeah. And it makes for a very powerful group, I think.
Yeah. And by the way, the second act is a totally different storyline involving a priest played by Zach Pizer. We know him, we love him.
We love him.
But let's talk about just, this wasn't the first time this musical has been done.
No.
It's been done quite some time in the past at the Public Theater, but this is the first time with the AAPI. So was that a unique way of telling a story differently, bringing in some cultural things as well, because you use these puppets or dolls? Yeah,
definitely. The story actually, nowhere in the script does it specifically say that we are Asian people. Yeah. The music kind of implies it, and obviously it was based on these 3 Japanese stories. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a wonderful group of people, and yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Were they puppets or were they dolls?
They're dolls.
Okay. He got scared.
And puppets. Actually, no, I'm sorry. They are puppets. Japanese bunraku puppets.
Yes.
And I think it's kind of unique because it leaves a lot to the imagination.
Yes, I know. Zach told me to put my thinking cap on before I went to go see the show, and it was firing on all cylinders. And that's new to the production, right?
Yeah, it is. In 2005, it premiered at the Public with an all-white cast. And so we're bringing in new puppetry to represent our cultures. Yeah. Sam Seamock is Thai, and so we use traditional Thai puppetry as well, shadow puppets. And so to get to play with like the light and the dark shadow and things like that also represents such a cool contrast from Act 1 and Act 2, which I think is fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's interesting to note that you played a translator in Succession, in an episode of Succession, right? But you're actually a translator in real life, and it helped with this production.
Totally.
Right?
It keeps on happening by accident, actually. It kind of falls into my lap. I'm bilingual. Both of my parents are Japanese, and they are both immigrants. I was born in the Netherlands, so I'm technically first generation. And it's something that really, truly just happens to fall in my lap. Even with this episode, I didn't realize that I would be translating the entire scene on my own. And it happened pretty last minute when everything was set, and the director came up to me and was like, "You can simultaneously translate both Japanese and English, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So that's what happened. And I surely thought that I would be cut, but it didn't happen. I was stayed on, so
yeah,
it's definitely exciting. So this one as well, Adam Rothenberg and Emilio Ramos, our music director and director, they both came to me with this project in mind, and they really wanted to start with translating Kesa, our opening prologue for the first act. And it was a very unique and special experience because it felt like all of my experiences from the past were all great tools for me to help accomplish that. And yeah.
It was beautiful.
Wow.
Really, really well done. Next up for you, you're in the City Center's production of Ragtime.
Yep.
With a pretty powerful cast besides you. We got Colin Donald, Joshua Henry, newly crowned Tony Award winner Shayna Tao.
Yes. I mean, it's such a dream. It's such what an exciting energy to be around. I obviously look up to these people from forever, and so getting to be able to be in a space with them and to also represent Asian history within the history of ragtime, the turn of the century, New York City. I mean, you know, there are people who look like us existing in that time frame, so to be able to be a representation on that on stage is going to be really exciting for me, I think.
Yeah.
It sounds phenomenal. Well, congratulations on all your success. It was so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good stuff.
And you only have a few days to see her out of the box. Theatrics, See What I Want to See. The show runs through this Sunday at 1:54. Christopher Street, so go check her out.